Hi, I'm Nicki Doane. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's practice is a spinal support practice, so yoga to get your back nice and healthy. So there's a few props that you'll need for this session. You need 2 blankets, 2 blocks, and a foam block. So if you only have foam blocks, then you'll be fine. But if you only have wooden blocks, then make sure you have a foam one as well, okay? So I would really like to invite everybody to, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel or like it at the very least. And let's begin. So to begin, find a seat that's comfortable. I'm sitting on 2 blankets, so I suggest you do that. If your hips are especially stiff, you might want to go a little higher. What's most important, you can see this relationship here, it's that your hips be higher than your knees. When your hips are higher than your knees, it takes the pressure out of your lower back and helps you sit up. Okay, and that's what yoga is about, right? We want to sit up, we want to wake up to the possibilities. So I'd like to begin with the Shantipap mantra. It's the mantra of peace, and it is essentially the student-teacher agreement. So find the seat that's comfortable. Make sure your sitting bones are evenly weighted. If there's any pain in either knee, put something underneath. And now sit up nice and tall. Gently lower your chin towards your chest. And now bring your hands together in front of your heart. And I'm talking about your emotional center heart, your heart chakra, right in the center of your chest. So sit up tall, lower your chin towards your chest, and we will chant the mantra. We'll chant Om together 3 times to begin. Then I'll do the mantra call and response. I'll say a line and you repeat it. Then I'll translate it and we'll begin. So take a moment here as you sit up tall, close your eyes, set an intention for your practice, something personal that you need or more global if you're feeling it. And now tuning into the sound of your breath, take a nice deep inhale through your nose, fill your lungs. At the top of your inhale, pause. Keep the lift of your chest and exhale completely. Again, inhale. Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinav Aditamastu Mavid Vishavahai Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This is the mantra of peace. So here we ask, first and foremost, may all sentient beings everywhere, including ourselves, may we always feel safe and may we always feel that shroud of protection around us. Secondly, may we always feel nourished, fed, and satisfied. As we come together in this moment and in all moments, may we work with courage, with strength, with determination, so that everything we do in our lives can continue to brighten. And most of all, whatever we do, may it be effective in helping us move forward on the path towards freedom. And last, but certainly not least, may we not bring hatred nor dispute amongst each other and certainly not amongst systems of yoga. Om, peace of the past, of the present, and always for our shared future. Now let's do the marmas. Put your hands on your thighs, sit up nice and tall, close your eyes. Take a deep inhalation as you sit up and exhale, tilt your head to the right. Bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Then inhale, raise your head and exhale, tilt it to your left. So your ear in line with your shoulder. Now continue one breath, one movement. Inhale up, exhale to the right. Inhale, lift your head, exhale to the left, and again, inhale, head up, exhale to the right, inhale, raise your head, exhale to the left. Now change directions. Inhale, lift your head. As you exhale, bring your chin towards your chest. Inhale, lift your head, keep your chest lifted, and exhale, let your head go back. Inhale, raise your head, exhale, bring it forward. And again, inhale, head up. Exhale, take your head back, stretch your chin. Inhale, raise your head. Exhale, forward. And one more time. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head back. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Now inhale, head up. Exhale, forward. Pause. Inhale, start rolling your head to the right, to the back. Exhale, to the left, to the front. And keep going. Keep breathing through your nose. Keep your sitting bones evenly weighted. Keep your spine extended and breathe freely through your nose. Now the next time your chin comes to your chest, pause and roll the other way. To the left, to the back, to the right, to the front. Keep going. Notice if you feel anything different rolling to your left than the right. Just file that information for yourself. And now the next time your chin comes to your chest, please stop. Now we'll do the shoulders. So sit up nice and tall and roll your shoulders in circles towards the front of your mat. Keep your hands heavy on your thighs. Keep your spine lifted and breathe. Now roll them the other way. Roll your shoulders back. Again, keep your spine lifted. Keep your hands still. And then go ahead and stop. So the next one is for your wrists. Interlace your fingers nice and tight. Drop your elbows under your wrists and then slowly roll your right wrist forward and then your left. Keep an eye on your hands and do your best to keep the rotational movement in your wrist joints. Keep your elbows under your wrists and then go ahead and reverse the direction. Roll the other way. Keep breathing through your nose. And now keep your fingers interlaced, stop the rolling, and stretch your palms forward, straighten your arms. Exhale all your air and inhale, lift your arms up. Squeeze your elbows, draw your belly in and up and look up. Press up through the index finger, knuckle, side of your hands and breathe. Feel like you're lengthening your side body. Breathe freely through your nose and then look down. Release your hands and as you exhale, float your arms back to your thighs. And the last one is for your ankles. So put your right foot so it's hanging off your left leg. Hold your right leg with your right hand. Hold your right foot with your left hand and roll your foot in a circle. And keep your foot off your left leg so you can really make that rotational movement. Look at your foot and keep breathing. And then roll the other way. A few times, just roll your foot, keep your right knee still, and then go ahead and stop and slap your foot a few times. And switch sides. So now your left foot hangs off your right leg, and you're gonna, or you could straighten your leg, right, if it bothers your right knee, but otherwise bend it. Left hand holds your left leg just above the ankle. Take your left foot with your right hand and roll your foot in a circle. Keep breathing. Keep your left knee nice and still, and then reverse the direction, roll it the other way. Keep breathing through your nose. I suggest you keep looking at your foot. It really helps. And then when you're done, stop and slap your foot a few times just to kind of wake it up. Now, Vajrasana, the footwork. So go ahead and move whatever you're sitting on out of your way. Come on your hands and your knees and bring your feet together. Curl your toes under. Just like that. Bring your inner ankle bones together. And now round your back. Put your head on the floor. Reach back with your hands. Grab your toes and rake them forward to stretch the bottoms. Take your fingers to your outer heels. Press them together and sit up. So you're sitting on your heels. Your inner ankle bones are together. Place your hands on your knees. Straighten your arms. Drop your chin. Drop your chest. Close your eyes and breathe. Now, if this bothers your knees, then I'm worried about you, and by modifying, you will put something between your butt and your heels. Okay, that's if you have pain in your knees. If the pain is really strong in your feet, you could always put a blanket under your knees. Close your eyes and go inside. So Vajra is a thunderbolt. These poses can be quite strong in the feet when you're not used to them, but they're so healthy for your feet. So keep breathing. See if you can keep your jaw soft, your teeth, your tongue. Breathe through your nose and stay here. The pose begins when you want to come out. Now lift your head, open your eyes, lean forward, put your hands on the floor, lift your bottom and point your toes straight back for the second Vajrasana. Keep your heels together, so use your fingers at your outer heels if you need. You should end up with your heels together and between your sitting bones. Your pelvis tucks under. Again, place your hands on your knees, straighten your arms, and let your back be round. So think about your sitting bones moving towards your knees. Broaden your back, especially at your kidneys. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Close your eyes, soften your jaw, and go inside. Breathe through your nose. Same thing as the other one, right? If this bothers your knees, then you have to modify something between your butt and your heels. Otherwise, just watch your jaw. Good. Now lift your head, come forward, curl your toes under, straighten your legs, walk your hands back to your feet, and then bend your knees, roll on up to standing. Parivartanasana, which is one of my favorite standing poses. Take your 2 blocks, preferably wood, but otherwise hard foam or cork will do. Place them on their highest setting. At the top of your mat, have your right foot forward and your left foot back. Put your hands on your hips and look at your feet. Align them so they are roughly heel to heel. Straighten your legs, lean back, and exhale, come forward. Place your hands on the blocks. Make sure that the blocks are under your wrists. Think of the blocks as an extension of your arms. So your wrists under your shoulders. And now look at your right foot. Lift all 5 toes on your right foot. Yeah. Keep your ankle over your heel. Lift your right kneecap. Draw your right hip back. And then press into your back heel, the left one. Press it down. Lift your left kneecap up and draw your left hip forward. So you're either looking at your right leg. It's always good to keep checking. Or you can look forward. So when you look forward and lift your head, just make sure that doesn't bother your neck. If it bothers your neck, you look down. Draw your shoulders away from your ears and lengthen your sternum away from your belly button. So as you look forward, don't let your right hip come forward. Keep drawing it back. Activate your quadriceps. Now to switch sides, bend your right leg and inhale, up you come. Hands to your hips. Again, bend your right leg, step your left foot forward and your right foot back to switch sides. Organize your feet so they're heel to heel. And again, the distance between your feet about the length of one of your legs. With your hands on your hips, lean back, inhale, lift your chest, and exhale as you come forward. Keep drawing your left hip back. Now bring your hands to the blocks. Remember, your hands should be shoulder width apart. Think of the blocks as an extension of your arms. Make sure your wrists are under your shoulders. And then look down and organize. Keep the weight on the big toe side of your left foot. Lift all 5 toes, spread your big toe to the right, your little toe to the left, lift your left kneecap, and really draw your left hip back. Think of the action of Mula Bandha. So your left sitting bone moves closer to your right. Press into your back heel. As you press your back heel down, lift your right kneecap up, draw your right hip forward, and as long as your neck feels okay, lift your head and look forward. Draw your shoulders away from your ears and breathe. Remember, if this bothers your neck, you look down. Keep your quadriceps engaged, soften your jaw, straighten your legs. So your arms are straight, your legs are straight. Now to come out, bend your left leg, step your right foot forward, take the blocks, move them out of your way, and inhale, up you come. Next pose is Urdhva Hastasana. So separate your feet about the width of your hips. Start with your hands on your hips. Look down at your feet. Straighten your legs. Lift your kneecaps. Internally rotate your thighs. Gently drop your upper buttocks. And now go ahead and stretch both arms straight up. Have your palms face each other. And press down through your feet. Lift your kneecaps up. And as long as your neck feels okay, let your head go back and look up. Urdhva Hastasana means upward hands. So you're looking up, stretch your arms up, wake up your legs, and now take a nice deep inhale. Reach over with your right hand, grab your left wrist. Inhale, stretch your left arm up, and exhale, lean to your right. Keep your left foot nice and grounded, and breathe. Breathe into your left waist. This is where the descending colon is, your pancreas. Relax your neck. And be mindful that you're not leaning back. You shouldn't feel any compression in your back. Now to switch sides, up you come. Stretch your right arm up. Hold that wrist with your left hand. And exhale, now lean to your left. Press down through your right foot. Keep your right leg nice and grounded. Breathe into your right side. That is your liver. Keep your neck relaxed. Soften your jaw, your teeth, your tongue. And breathe. Inhale, come up. Stretch both arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Look down slowly on an exhale, float your arms to your side. And now we're going to go to the wall. So this is called box on the wall. It's a rewind of downward dog. So go to the wall and take your hands to the wall. Set them so your wrists are the height of your shoulders. Then walk your feet back. Straighten your arms, inner triads heavy on the wall. Eyes of your elbows face each other. Walk back until your heels are under your sitting bones. Do the best that you can. So if you have a mirror, maybe you can use a mirror. Otherwise, right, you're going to have to kind of eyeball it. Look down at your feet and organize them so they are your hips width apart. Heels slightly wider than your toes. Lift and spread your toes. Lift your inner ankle bones. Activate your quadriceps, so lift your kneecaps. Squeeze your quadriceps to the bone. Internally rotate your thighs. Lift through your sitting bones and feel like you're pressing the wall forward. Almost like you're trying to press it down. Relax your head, draw your ribs towards your spine, and now bend your knees. Just try that and lift your sitting bones. If you have pain in your lower back, keep your knees bent. Otherwise, straighten your legs. If your neck feels uncomfortable, just gently turn it from side to side. And keep breathing through your nose. Keep your legs engaged. Stretch through your arms. This is to lengthen your spine and open your armpit chest. Keep breathing. Lift and spread your toes. And now bend your knees. Walk in to come out. Turn around. We're going to do a forward bend at the wall. So you're going to lean your butt against the wall. Walk your heels till they're at least a foot away from the wall. Slightly pigeon toe your feet. Bend forward. Grab the skin of your buttocks. Pull it up. Let your sitting bones rest on the floor and then gently bend forward. Let your back be round. Hold your elbows. Release your head and stay here. If for some reason this bothers your arms to hold them, you could always rest your hands on the floor. Right? But the point here is to let your torso, your spine relax. You could also take your fingers to the base of your skull and gently lengthen the back of your neck. Keep the back of your neck long. Keep breathing through your nose. Straighten your legs. If for some reason this bothers your lower back, this pose, then you can just lean against the wall. You can come upright, lean your back against the wall for a rest. Now to come out, bend your knees. Inhale, roll up to standing so your head comes up last. And we'll do box on the wall again. So come away from the wall, turn around. This time it's a little stronger on the shoulders. You're going to put your wrists the height of your hips. Okay, the top of your pelvis is really the hips. So set your hands on the wall, look at them. Make them shoulder width apart, straighten your arms. Inner triads of your hands heavy. Turn the eyes of your elbows to face each other. And then walk your feet back again until your heels are under your sitting bones. Have your feet about the width of your hips. So in general, the alignment is the hands shoulder width apart and your feet hips width apart. Straighten your legs Activate your quadriceps. Remember, there's a lot of ways to say that. Lift your kneecaps, squeeze the muscles in your thighs to the bones. Bend your knees to lift your sitting bones, right? You want that nice curve in your lumbar. Straighten your legs. If your back rounds in the pose, then you can do this with your knees bent because you want your sitting bones to lift. Draw your ribs towards your spine to open your armpit, chest, and keep breathing. Resist the temptation to want to press your ribs towards the floor. Draw your ribs towards your spine. Keep that nice curve in your lumbar. Now bend your knees, walk in to come out. Shake out your arms. Let them go. It can be strong on the shoulders. And now we're going to do a pose at the wall. It's a variation of Vajrasana 1. So you'll want your foam block. We're going to start with the right foot at the wall. And I want you to put your toes up the wall, just like I'm doing. Now, step your left leg way back. Come way up on your tippy toes so your heel is up. Bend your right knee and put the foam block between your knee and the wall. And you're going to push your knee into the wall. Now bend your back knee, grab your frontal hip bones and pull them up. So you drop your tailbone and now put your hands on the wall and straighten your back leg. Your hands are on the wall, not heavy, right? You're kind of on your fingertips. Press your shoulders down away from your ears. Draw your belly in and up and look towards the wall. So instead of leaning into the wall, use your fingertips to kind of help you lean back. And notice if your right frontal hip bone is grinding into your right thigh. You don't want that. Now let's switch sides. Take the block out, straighten your right leg, and switch sides. Okay? So left toes up the wall now. Step your right leg back, and it's like a lunge. It's like a Vajrasana 1 lunge. So bend your left leg. So you want your left thigh parallel to the floor. Your leg is at a right angle. Bend your left knee and get that block between your knee and the wall. Straighten your back leg. Same thing. You want to drop your tailbone. So you're going to draw your frontal hip bones up. Put your hands at the wall. I like them about shoulder height, and I'm at my fingertips. So I'm not leaning into the wall. I'm using my hands to help me lean back. Drop your shoulders, lift through your sternum, draw your belly in and up, and really stretch your back leg. This is to open your psoas on your back leg. Okay, now, let's do it again. So here we go. I'm going to switch sides. Yeah, right foot at the wall. Step your left leg way back, and you want enough distance between your feet so you can bend your right leg to 90 degrees. Get the block between your knee and the wall. And again, straighten your back leg, hands to the wall. So we're staying about 30 seconds. This is a really effective pose in opening the psoas. And you can do I won't call it an adjustment, but it's something to get a little deeper in the back leg. You could bend your back knee, drop your tailbone, keep your frontal hip bones up, and straighten your back leg. Okay, hands to the wall. Keep breathing through your nose, draw your belly in and up. And you can really feel like you're pushing your knee into the block. That's why the block between the wall and you is so nice. Okay, last side. So switch sides. Now your left foot's at the wall. You're going to step your right leg way back. Bend your left knee now and get the block between the wall and your knee. Get your left thigh about parallel with the floor, so your left sitting bone the height of your left knee. Bring your hands to the wall. Drop your shoulders, straighten your back leg. And if your neck feels okay, you can look up. And you'll feel that stretch the front of your right psoas even more. So keep that back leg straight as best you can. So you can either look forward at the wall or up. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. This is the last time on this side. So breathe. Awesome. Out you come. So get the block out of the way. Come on up. Put your block down. I don't think we're going to use it again, the foam one. And come onto your hands and your knees. Let's set up for Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Okay? So come on your hands and your knees. Take your hands to the top of your mat and separate your hands about your shoulder width apart. Have your middle fingers point straight ahead. Do your best to keep the weight in the inner triads of your hands. That's your index finger knuckle. Look at your inner elbows, have them face each other. Now look at your knees and walk your knees back until your knees are under your sitting bones. Curl your toes under. we'll do a few rounds of cat and cow. Inhale, arch your back, lift your head. Exhale, round your spine. So move at your own pace. As you inhale, you lift your head and your sitting bones. As you exhale, round your spine, draw your navel towards your spine, and breathe. Inhale, lift your head. Now exhale, come into the pose. Adho Mukha Svanasana. That's downward facing dog. And just notice, for most of us, as soon as we straighten our legs, the tendency is for the hands and the shoulders to get, really heavy and the weight rolls to the outer wrist. So be vigilant. Keep the weight in the inner triads of both hands. Keep breathing through your nose. Feel like you're trying to push the front of your mat away from you. Stretch your arms, lower your head, and if you start to feel this in your lower back, or even just to make an adjustment in your lower back, you can bend your knees, lift your sitting bones. If it's appropriate, straighten your legs. If your back is round in this pose, or you feel like you just can't get out of your shoulders, keep your knees bent. Okay, either way, activate your arms, stretch your arms, make sure your neck is relaxed. So the back of your neck is long. Draw your ribs towards your spine, just like we did in Box on the Wall. So you can see how Box on the Wall was a rewind of what we're doing right now. Now, inhale, come way up on your tippy toes. Exhale to child's pose. Bend your knees. Bring your big toes together and separate your knees about the width of your shoulders. Now let your back be round and come forward. Rest your shoulders on your knees. Take your arms back at your side. Tuck your chin and place your forehead close to your hairline on the mat. And breathe. Now your arms are at your side. This is in a fully realized child's pose, okay? If you're a little stiff and your buttocks don't reach your heels, you'd probably feel better bringing your arms forward. And of course, if this bothers your knees or your lower back, then this isn't a good pose for you, and instead you can lay on your back or your belly. Now in my classes when I teach, I always suggest that this pose, child's pose, be the one that if you ever need a rest, you can come into it anytime you want. Now, on your next inhale, stretch your arms forward towards the front of your mat. As you exhale, spread your fingers, root your hands to the mat. Then inhale, come up onto your hands and your knees, curl your toes under, look up, exhale to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Adho means down, Mukha is the face, and Svana is a dog. Breathe. Inhale, stretch your arms. Exhale, back into your legs. Soften your jaw. Now, first lunge. Come way up on your tippy toes and inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Bend your right leg to about 90 degrees. Straighten your back leg. Look at your front foot, the right one, and make the outside edge of your foot roughly parallel to the long side of the mat. Take your hands off the floor, get your belly off your thigh, and now put your hands down really lightly. Lift your toes, spread the big one to the left, little one to the right, and now everybody shift your hips a little to the left. So your right sitting bone closer to your left. Keep breathing through your nose. Straighten your back knee. Your hand should be light here, okay? So the hands are not weight-bearing in this first one. Feel instead like you're pushing your right foot into the floor to keep your hips buoyant. Again, this is for the psoas, just like the pose we did at the wall a couple minutes ago. You want to straighten your back legs. Stretching this part of your body, the front of the groin, really helps relieve your lower back. Now put your hands flat and exhale back to downward dog. Take a nice deep inhale, stretch your arms, exhale all your air, and now come way up on your tippy toes and inhale, step your left foot forward between your hands. Make sure you got enough distance between your feet so you can now bend your left leg to about 90 degrees. You're trying to get your left buttocks the height of your left knee. Take your hands off the floor, get your belly off your thigh, and then put your hands down as lightly as possible. So I do not want you to do this with no hands. You need your hands for balance and alignment. The only reason you took your hands off the floor was to make sure you're not collapsing your torso onto your thigh. You know, your torso can touch your thigh, that's no problem. It's the collapsing that you want to avoid, and in general, the collapsing happens with flexible people. And so now everybody shift your hips a little to the right. So your left sitting bone closer to your right. Straighten your back leg as much as you can. Keep breathing through your nose. And again, feel like you're pushing your left foot into the mat. So there's no weight in your hands. Now, awesome. Now, put your hands flat. Inhale, lift your hips, and exhale, step back to downward dog. Take a recovery breath here. Inhale, stretch your arms. Exhale, back into your legs. And now look up. Bring your hands together in the middle of the mat so your thumbs touch. Inhale and step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Now bend your right knee to about 90 degrees and straighten your back leg. This time you will be able to check the alignment. So with your arms straight, first of all, make sure your torso and your arms are inside your right leg. Look at your right foot and organize it. Make the outside edge of your foot roughly parallel and check your wrists. If you feel any pressure in your wrists, modify. Might be lifting your wrists, making fists, or even putting your hands on a block. Whatever feels right. And if your hands are flat and you say, my wrists feel fine, great. Okay, but modify if there is pain in your wrists. Now with your arms straight, just lower your head, look between your legs, and get your right sitting bone the height of your right knee. Straighten your back leg and keep breathing. Shift your hips to the left, straighten your back leg. You can look forward or down, that's up to you. Just stretch your back leg. Again, this is for the psoas of the back leg, which is to help your lower back. Now, back to downward dog. Set your hands. Inhale, lift your hips, and exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale as you stretch your arms. Exhale, press back into your legs. And now left side. Look up at your hands. Bring your thumbs together in the middle of your mat if they've separated. Come way up on your tippy toes and inhale, step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. And again, outside edge of your left foot, roughly parallel to the long side of your mat. Make sure your arms and your torso are inside your left leg. So if you feel like you need to walk your hands a little to the right, do it. With your arms straight, lower your head and check the alignment of your left leg. Your left sitting bone should be the height of your left knee. So if you're flexible and you're too low, you got to lift your hips. And if you're on the stiffer side, you just keep bending your knee and pushing in the direction that you're going, right? It's the flexible people that have to usually modify more. And once again, make sure there's no pressure in your wrists. Modify as needed. Straighten your back leg more than you ever have. Shift your hips to the right, so your left sitting bone closer to your right, and breathe. All right, keep breathing through your nose. Good job. Lift your hips, exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Now, everybody take a nice deep inhale. Stretch your arms. Exhale, press back into your legs. Soften your jaw, your teeth, your tongue, your lips, and then look up. Inhale, step or walk both feet to your hands. Lift your head. Exhale as you fold in, head towards your legs. And now inhale, come all the way up. Stretch both arms up and over your head. Look up. And exhale, float your arms to your side. Utthita Trikonasana. Now take a block, at least one. Stand in the middle of your mat. This is triangle pose. Separate your feet nice and wide, at least the length of one of your legs. Turn your right foot to the right and your left heel to the left. Take the block on its highest setting and put it somewhere between your ankle and your knee on the little toe side of your foot. Then bring your hands to your hips. Look at your right foot. Lift all 5 toes. Lift your kneecap and externally rotate your legs so your kneecap spins towards your little baby toe. Then press into your left heel. Inhale, lift your arms, and exhale, over you go. Reach out through your right arm. Bring your right hand to the block and put your left hand on your hip. Look down at your right hand. Make sure your wrist is under your shoulder. We often have a tendency to put the block behind our foot and then we don't have any leverage to roll our shoulder back. So make sure you've got the right alignment. Straighten your legs and then if you like, stretch your left arm straight up. If that feels like it's too much, of course, keep your hand on your hip. Look straight ahead. Lift your right ear away from your right shoulder and keep breathing. Keep the back of your neck long, the front of your throat soft, and then if you like, turn your head to the left, look up. Beautiful. Look down, take your left hand to your hip, bend your right leg, take the block, inhale, up you come, and switch sides. Turn your right foot in, your left foot out. Now place the block on the little toe side of your left foot, Same spot, somewhere between your ankle and your knee. Now straighten both legs, externally rotate your thighs, keep the weight on the big toe side of your left foot, little toe side of your right foot. Inhale, lift your arms, and exhale, over you go. Bring your left hand to the block, put your right hand on your waist, and breathe. So look down at your left foot, keep the weight on the big toe side of your foot, activate your quadricep, press into your back heel, which is now the right one, and then roll both shoulders back. Lean back any amount. Straighten your legs. Look straight ahead. Lift your left ear away from your left shoulder. Keep breathing through your nose. And now, if you like, stretch your right arm straight up. Utthita Trikonasana, intensely extended triangle pose. So the legs are absolutely straight. If you're hyperextended, if you know that about your body, then micro bend your left knee. And keep breathing. Now look up, take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, right hand to your hip, look down, take the block, bend your left leg and press through your feet to come up. Switch sides. Utthita Vajrasana. Turn your right foot to the right, left heel to the left, and this time put the block to the big toe side of your right foot. Inhale, lift your arms, and exhale, bend your right knee to about 90 degrees. Bring your right elbow to your right thigh and your left hand to your hip. Look at your left foot, that's the back one. Press the little toe side of your foot down. Then look at your right knee. Move your right knee more to the right. Put the weight on the little toe side of your foot. Scoop your right buttocks under. Then roll your left elbow and shoulder back and slowly bring your right hand to the block. Now use your right arm, right, which is inside your knee. Bend your right elbow to push your knee back. And if you like, stretch your left arm up and over your ear. Bring your left cheek towards your left arm, if your arm is extended. And the name of the pose is the extended straight side, intensely extended side angle pose. Look up at your left thumb as long as it doesn't bother your neck. And now slowly look down, take the block, and inhale, up you come. Exhale, switch sides. So turn your left foot to the left, right heel to the right. Inhale, lift your arms, and exhale, bend your left leg to about 90 degrees. Bring your left elbow to your left thigh. Put your right hand on your hip. And check your back leg. Stamp the little toe side of your right foot. Lift your right kneecap. Look at your left leg, the bent one. Move your knee a little more to the left, to the little toe side of your foot. Scoop your left buttocks under, and now slowly take your left hand to the block. Roll your right elbow and shoulder back. Open your chest and lean back. If you like, stretch your right arm up and over your ear. Have your palm face the floor. And again, stretch from your right heel all the way through your right side, out your right elbow and beyond your fingertips. And breathe. Use your left elbow at your left knee to push your knee back towards the little toe side of your foot. And now out you come. Bring your right hand to your hip, up you come. Take the block, parallel your feet, and bring your feet together and put the block on the floor. And just get it out of your way and off your mat. Standing back arch. Okay, so now we've done a lot of work to open the front of the groin. Here we go. Look down at your feet, separate them about hips width apart, hands on your hips. Bend your knees. Okay? And then tuck your pelvis under. So your pubic bone is moving forward. Have your knees over your toes. Put your hands on your hips. Roll your shoulders back. As you press through your heels, inhale, lift your chest, squeeze your elbows. And if your neck feels okay, look back. Standing back arch. If this bothers your neck, you can look forward. But the work here, bend your knees and lift your chest, and then inhale, stand up. Try to come up with your head last. Okay, this is to open the psoas. Now we're doing it on both legs at the same time. So let's do it again. Hands on your hips, bend your knees, look down, lean forward a little so your knees hide your toes. Bring your pubic bone forward. Roll your shoulders back, hands on your hips, lift your chest, and look back. So feel the connection between bending your knees, grounding your heels, and lifting through your sternum. Bend your knees, lift your chest. Keep your eyes wide open and breathe. Good. Inhale, stand up. Try to come up with your head last. Take a couple breaths here. Open your eyes. Now come on your knees for Vajrasana the Camel Pose. Separate your knees about the width of your hips. If it bothers your knees, fold your mat so you have a little more padding. First one, curl your toes under so your heels are high. Put your hands on your hips. It's the same action we just did in standing back arch. Drop your tailbone, roll your shoulders back, inhale, lift your chest, and exhale, lean back, straighten your arms one at a time, and take your hands to your heels. Lift your chest, let your pelvis come forward, lift through your chest, stay here. If your neck feels okay, gently let your head go back. Lift through your chest, pelvis forward, open your eyes and breathe. Now slowly take your hands to your hips, come up, head last. Nice. Now the second variation is really the full pose. Point your toes straight back, hands on your hips. You're going to press through the top of your feet. Check that your feet point straight back. If your heels feel too far away, you're going to use the first variation. Now again, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, lean back, take your hands to your heels. Once you have your hands on your heels, take your head back and then start to bring your pelvis forward. You want to go for the stability first. Your hands on your feet, lift your chest, press the top of your feet down. Lift your chest, stretch your chin, the front of your throat. Keep your eyes wide open and breathe. Now to come out, hands to your hips, and again, inhale, up you come. Come up with your head last. Take a few breaths here, and now sit back on your heels. Now you're going to lay down. The next pose is Setubandha Sarvangasana, and you want your block. So lay on your back, bend your knees, have your feet on the floor about hips width apart. Come way up on your tippy toes, lift your pelvis, and take the block and put it under your sacrum. So it's right at the bones. You shouldn't feel this block in the soft tissue of your waist or in your buttocks. Now, get your sacrum on the block, descend your heels, interlace your fingers around the block, and walk your shoulders under. And by under, I mean feel like you're walking your shoulders toward your hands. Press your arms down to lift your chest. And then, depending on your flexibility, right, you could walk your feet forward a little. Try lifting all 10 toes, and if you can do that, lift the front of both feet. So your heels press into the floor, and you might feel this strongly in your quadriceps. You could always put your feet back on the floor, and now just go ahead and do that if you haven't. So your feet are down, lift through your chest. Now walk in a little. Come way up on your tippy toes, lift your pelvis, move the block out of the way, and slowly lower your bottom to the floor. And breathe. Take a few breaths here. Soften your lower abdomen. Soften your belly so your sacrum can have a little bit of relief there. And then we're going to do it again. So here we go. Come way up on your tippy toes with your knees bent. Put the block under your sacrum. Now, if the block on its highest setting is too high, use a lower setting. Interlace your fingers, walk your shoulders under, descend your heels. And now, see if you can slowly start to walk your feet forward. Maybe they slide, maybe they walk. Maybe you can keep the bottoms of your feet down with your legs straight, or point your toes, or maybe you need to lift the front of your feet so just your heels are on the floor. Stretch your legs, try to internally rotate your thighs. It's that internal rotation that broadens your lower back. Press your arms down and lift your chest. Stay here and breathe. Please don't turn your head. Now try pointing your toes, stretch your feet, stretch your legs, open your chest. Setubandha Sarvangasana, supported bridge pose. And this is a variation of shoulder stand. Now to come out, walk your feet back. Come way up on your tippy toes. Lift your pelvis off the block. Release your hands. Move the block out of the way and slowly lower your bottom to the floor. Rest. Have your sacrum on the floor, your hands on your thighs. Soften your jaw, your teeth, your tongue. And now we're going to do it with no block. So set your feet. Come way up on your tippy toes, interlace your fingers, walk your shoulders under, release your hands, bend your elbows, and get your hands under your hips. So rock from side to side to get the heels of your hands under the rim of your pelvis. Then descend your heels. Good. Now with your feet down, Lift your right foot off the floor, bend your knee, keep your knee bent, point your toes, and slowly straighten your right leg. Keep your left foot grounded, straighten your right knee. And you can see your leg here. So point your toes, stretch that leg, and then switch. Bend your right knee, put your foot on the floor, reset your hands if you need. Now keep your right foot down, lift your left, bend your knee as much as you can, stretch your knee to your shoulder, and then slowly straighten your left leg. Point your toes, keep your right foot grounded, keep your hands under your hips so there's the support, no block this time. Straighten your left leg as much as you can and breathe. Beautiful. Bend your left leg, slowly put your left foot on the floor. Lift all 10 of your toes and now walk in, come way up on your tippy toes, release your hands and slowly lower your bottom to the floor and breathe. Now lift both feet off the floor. This is to relieve your sacrum. Wrap your arms around the back of your thighs and hold your elbows. Bend your legs. Feel like you're squeezing your arms with your legs. Flex your feet. So the feeling here is like you're trying to extend your heels, almost like you're trying to straighten your legs, but your arms just won't let you. You should feel a little relief in your sacrum. That is the intended result. Now, we're going to do a twist. So release your hands, roll to your side, and press yourselves up. If your blocks are in the way, move them out of your way. And now lay down, Ardha Jatara Parivartanasana, half revolving around the belly. So lay down, stretch your arms out to the side, turn your palms up, check that your hands are the height of your shoulders, look at them. Lift your feet off the floor, bend your knees, flex your feet, take your knees as close to your chest as you can, take a deep inhale, and exhale, lower your knees to the right, turn your head to the left. Keep your feet flexed and lifted. Now inhale onto your back. Exhale, twist to the left. Take your knees to the left, keep your feet lifted, turn your head to the right. With the feet lifted, you're able to pull the twist higher up your spine and then switch. Inhale, knees and head to the center. Exhale, knees to the right, turn your head to the left, stretch your left arm. Switch. Inhale, knees up. Exhale to your left. Again, keep your feet lifted higher than your knees. And again, inhale onto your back one more time. Exhale, knees to the right, turn your head to the left. Inhale, knees and head to the center. Exhale, knees to the left, turn your head to the right. And breathe. Now inhale onto your back and hug your knees to your chest. You could roll a little from side to side, see how that feels in your lower back. Then put your feet on the floor, roll to your side and slowly press up. We're going to do another twist. This time I want you to take a couple of blankets, fold them so you have a little height here, and place them on your mat, and then take a block and put the block behind the blankets. Vajrasana. So this is a seated twist. I want you to sit with your knees to the left, and when you sit back now, you're going to put your buttocks, just really the right one, on the blanket. Your right foot's on the bottom, it curves a little to the left, and then your left leg is like in Vajrasana. So the top of your left foot is in the bottom of your right. Your knees are a little separate. Take a nice deep inhale, sit up, exhale, twist to the right, put your left hand on your right knee, and take your right hand to the block behind you. Now, remember the intelligence of a twist. Inhale, sit up. This time as you exhale, please turn your head to the left. So you're looking towards your left knee. So often in a twist, we will turn our head to the right. I want you to turn it to the left. Bend your elbows and use your arms, the biceps, to really facilitate the twist. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale to twist. Drop your shoulders. So you have to consciously press them down as you lift your sternum up. Keep that lift of your spine, and the blankets are only under your right buttocks. It's a bit of an asymmetrical pose. Now in the last couple of breaths, inhale, sit up. Exhale, turn your head to the right. Drop your right shoulder. Good. Now come on out and let's switch sides. So this time when you switch, now it's your left buttocks that's going to be on the blanket. Take your feet to the right. And you're going to have your left foot be on the bottom. Okay, it's going to curve a little to the right, and you're going to put the top of your, it's really just above your ankle. You can see that. Your right leg is in Vajrasana. Take a nice deep inhale, sit up. Exhale, twist to the left, and your knees they're going to separate. Let them. Put your right hand on your outer left thigh near your knee, and take your left hand back behind you. Inhale, roll forward onto the front of your sitting bones, sit up. Exhale, twist. So you're twisting your torso, your shoulders to the left, turn your head to the right. So look towards your right knee and breathe. So again, use your hand, the left one on the block, for leverage. To inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale as you twist. So breathe through your nose. And remember the intelligence of the twist. You twist in extension. So inhale, sit up. Now exhale, turn your head to the left as you twist. Press your shoulders down. Lift through your sternum. Soften your jaw, your teeth, your tongue. And now inhale, lean forward, sit up. Exhale, untwist. Good. Now I want you to sit on those blankets. So find a seat that's comfortable. Could be simple cross legs, Padmasana, variation of Swastikasana. That's what I'm doing. I'll get into that in another thing. Something comfortable. And now take your hands into Nyana Mudra. Your thumb and your forefinger touch each other. They make a circle. Straighten the other 3 fingers, and then straighten your arms. Rest the top of your hands, the top of your wrists at your knees. Sit up nice and tall, so the eyes of your elbows face up. Gently lower your chin towards your chest. Be sensitive to your neck, and allow your gaze to either be at the tip of your nose or softly into your lap. And breathe. Soften your jaw. So Jiva Bandha in your mouth. The tip of your tongue resting at your upper palate. Notice if you're clenching your teeth, try to soften them. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Draw your belly in and up. And just allow yourself to settle. Nyana Mudra is the mudra of wisdom, of knowledge, of intuition. That's what yoga is about. It's about heightening our intuition, learning how to be more present with ourselves. So breathe through your nose. Feel your seat be heavy, your sitting bones. Feel the length and lift of your spine. Allow your head to be forward and soft. Now relax your hands, bend your arms. Bring your hands into your lap. Put your right on top of your left. Have your palms up, and just let your hands softly rest in your lap. Have your arms a little bent, and now close your eyes. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Soften your jaw, your teeth, your tongue. Remember the intention that you set at the beginning of the practice. Bring it back into your consciousness. And now slowly lift your head, and we're going to make our way to Shavasana. And so whatever you like. You could have a blanket under your head. Maybe you want something under your knees if your lower back hurts. Just nothing under your back. If you feel anxious, you could put something on your belly. So lay on your back, bend your knees to start, lift your bottom, tuck your pelvis under, and then slowly extend your legs out in front of you. Let your legs relax. Roll out to the side, cross your arms over your chest, grab the bottom of your shoulder blades, separate them. Put your back on the floor, walk your shoulders away from your ears, and stretch your arms to the sides. So stay here as long as you like. For the sake of the recording, I'm just going to stay a few minutes and talk you out. If you're familiar with this practice and you want to stay, you can stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Close your eyes and just know that Shavasana is one of the most important poses. Okay? It's the culmination of the practice. It's the integration. So all the things that perhaps have bubbled up in your consciousness during your practice, here you have an opportunity to look at that stuff and to let go of whatever you want to let go of. So close your eyes, soften your jaw, your teeth, your tongue, soften your belly, soften at your diaphragm. Just notice if you're holding tension anywhere and let go. With your eyes closed, feel your eyeballs sink deeper and deeper into the sockets. When we relax our eyes, it has a direct impact on our brain. And we want to have skills where we can do something like that, soften our brain. We tend to get very heavy in our heads. Now, slowly to come out of it, bring your attention back to your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, roll your ankles, your wrists. If you like, you can stretch your arms over your head, stretch your hands and feet far away from each other. And then we've had enough stretching, let your body go limp. Breathe. And now think about what way you're going to roll. Bend your knees, feet to the floor, and slowly roll to your side, whichever feels more natural. Stay on your side for a few breaths. And to come out, put your top hand on the floor. Keep rolling in the direction you're facing. Slowly press yourselves up from your side. And now to finish, find a comfortable seat. Join your palms together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. Sit up tall. Bow your head, surrender to your heart. Aloha and namaste. Have a beautiful rest of your day.